What way would that be?
I seen he was from Dallas.
What business is it of yours? Where I'm from? Friendo?
Welcome back to Fact Me Up channel. In this video, we'll delve into 14 intriguing facts about the acclaimed film No Country for Old Men, and we'll explore its captivating characters, intense plot twists, and the masterful craftsmanship behind the scenes. Get ready to uncover the secrets and behind-the-scenes tidbits that make No Country for Old Men a cinematic masterpiece. According to a January 2018 article in Business Insider, a group of psychiatrists studied 400 movies and identified 126 psychopathic characters. They chose Javier Bardem's portrayal of Anton Chigurh as the most clinically accurate portrayal of a psychopath. Norman Bates from Psycho and Dr. Hannibal Lecter from The Silence of the Lambs, on the other hand, were established as totally unrealistic. An unforeseen expense for the film was the makeup department buying expensive fake blood at $800 a gallon. Joel Cohen realized why they were spending so much when it came time to film the scene where Llewellyn stumbles across the aftermath of a shootout, with lots of extras lying around dead in the dust. Ordinary fake blood made with sugar would have meant the extras would have been crawling with bugs and ants for hours, while the insects had no interest in the expensive fake blood, thus justifying the cost. In the novel No Country for Old Men, Sheriff Bell says of the dope dealers, "Here a while back in San Antonio they shot and killed a federal judge." Writer of the novel Cormac McCarthy set the story in 1980, and in 1979, federal judge John Howland Wood was shot and killed in San Antonio by Texas freelance contract killer Charles Harrelson, father of Woody Harrelson, who played Carson Wells in the movie. Directors Joel Cohen and Ethan Cohen used a photo of a brothel patron taken in 1979 as a model for Anton Chigurh's hairstyle. Ethan explained, "Wardrobe department had found this picture of a guy at a bar in West Texas in 1979, and it was that alarming haircut and actually that kind of wardrobe as well. And we looked at it and thought, well, he looks like a sociopath." And Javier really enjoyed it as well. When he first saw his new haircut, Javier Bardem said, "Oh no, now I won't get laid for the next 2 months." The Coens responded by happily high-fiving each other, since Bardem's response meant Chigurh would look as creepy as they had hoped. While on location in Marfa, Texas, it just so happened that director Paul Thomas Anderson was in the tiny town of Marfa too, shooting his movie There Will Be Blood. One day, while filming a wide shot of the landscape, directors Joel Cohen and Ethan Cohen had to halt shooting for the day when a gigantic cloud of dark smoke floated conspicuously into view. Paul Thomas Anderson was testing the pyrotechnics of an oil derrick set ablaze on the set of his film. The Coens resumed filming the next day, when the smoke finally dissipated. A year and a half later, both films were the leading contenders at the Academy Awards. Both were also bankrolled by the same two companies, Paramount Vantage and Miramax. Just a couple of days after signing on to play Moss, Josh Brolin broke his shoulder when his motorcycle collided with a car. In an interview with Now magazine, he recalled thinking, "F***ing shit, I really wanted to work with the Coens," as he flew over the car that hit him. His injury, however, turned out to be a non-issue since his character got shot in the shoulder very early in the film. Josh Brolin learned of the role of Moss while he was filming Grindhouse with Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino, so he asked if he could borrow a camera to shoot a quick audition for No Country for Old Men. The directing duo did him one better. He ended up having his audition elaborately shot on a $1 million Genesis camera during lunch on set of Grindhouse, directed by Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez, and with Marley Shelton as Carla Jean. When the Coens saw Brolin's tape, their response was that they loved the lighting. The title of the movie is part of the first line from William Butler Yeats' poem, Sailing to Byzantium. The full line is, "That is no country for old men." The poem is about an old man, and as he nears death, he wonders what it might be like in the afterlife. This theme is somewhat explored by the world of weary Sheriff Bell, who ponders what his life will be like after he leaves his life as a lawman.
Maybe I'll go riding.
Okay.
What do you think?
I can't plan your day.
Though Javier Bardem was excited at the prospect of working with the Coen brothers, He wasn't super comfortable with playing such a violence-prone character as Anton Chigurh, and he wasn't even sure why the Coens had thought of him for the role. Bardem told Entertainment Weekly, "When the Coens called, I said, listen, I'm the wrong actor. I don't drive, I speak bad English, and I hate violence." They laughed and said, "Maybe that's why we called you." Javier Bardem went on to win the Academy Award for his portrayal of Anton Chigurh, becoming the first Spanish actor to do so.
And the Oscar goes to No Country for Old Men. Scott.
This is the second film in history to share the Academy Award for Best Director between two directors. The first was between Jerome Robbins and Robert Wise for West Side Story. The reason why this is so rare is because the Academy normally has strict rules against nominating more than one person per film as director, in order to prevent actors and producers from claiming directorial credits. The Academy can make an exception when the co-directors are an established duo. This is just the case for the Coen brothers, who generally write, direct, and produce their films jointly. Heath Ledger was reportedly the Coens' first choice for the role of Llewellyn Moss, and seemed equally interested in working with Joel and Ethan. But after some initial conversations, he reportedly withdrew himself for consideration in order to take some time off from working and spend time with his newborn daughter. Ledger would eventually portray a Chigurh-like sociopathic killer role as the Joker in The Dark Knight, and his posthumous Oscar win would succeed Bardem's turn as Anton Chigurh for Best Actor in a Supporting Role, coincidentally both as villains.
And the Oscar goes to Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight.
While finalizing the film's score, Josh Brolin and the Coen brothers realized they can't have any musical instruments in the movie in order to keep the suspense. As a result, the soundtrack to this film is almost entirely diegetic, meaning that the source of every sound is visible or occurs on screen. Composer Carter Burwell's score consists of only 16 minutes of music and is used quite sparsely throughout the film, blending elusively into the background. It can be heard during Ed Tom Bell's opening narration, during Anton Chigurh's quarter speech, when Bell shows up at the aftermath of the motel shootout towards the end of the film, and the closing credits. When Anton Chigurh pulls the change from his pocket in the first hotel, one of the quarters is painted red. This was a common feature at pinball and video arcades in the late 1970s and early 1980s. It allowed the arcade operators to identify non-revenue quarters given out to customers when a regular quarter was eaten by the machine without credit. Contrary to most successful films made from books, much of the film's action is taken word for word from Cormac McCarthy's novel No Country for Old Men, and occurs in the same order. For instance, Bell's final speech in the film is on the final page of the book. However, unusually for Joel Coen and Ethan Coen, who are usually known for their extremely loquacious characters, they decreased the amount of dialogue found in the book substantially in some scenes.